So now we have Deborah Monroy. Is Deborah Monroy person? Yes, you are there. Yes. Deborah, she is a photographer and writer working and dreaming around metropolitan Atlanta, Georgia, USA. This is a poem in itself, this little one-line bio that she sent me. Please, Deborah, come and
Thank you so much. I'm really happy to be here. This is my 4th year. Can you guys hear me okay? Thank you. I'll read 3 short poems, and this is turned into like the White trilogy, and the role of white changes in each poem. The first poem is dedicated to Marquetta Bell Johnson, who I hope some of you know, a textile artist, quilter, and a wonderful friend who passed away recently. Law is light. Harnessing the witness of water, the white minaret sways on the surface of the pool. I swim to embrace it. Fluid minaret follows no rules, no ruling, no edges anywhere within the swaying of water. Here and now, the outermost law is light, while this towering indoor column supporting roof soars 50 feet or more, while welcoming the minaret falling, then floating on the ever-moving surface of the water. I pray through this. Phosphoroverts like me overtly oversee our visions within the silence of light. Given the gifts and griefs of childhood, my calling is light. My solitary, outcast muskrat journey witnesses weaving of water and light at the deep end of the pool, joining indoor chemical brine and minaret floating within a flood of unruly music. The second poem is about my family had the opportunity to live in Bavaria while I was growing up. We live in a beautiful city within Bavaria in Franconia, which is the finest area within that zone. But I found out decades later that the city was so beautiful because it had been destroyed almost entirely, almost 100%. During the very end of World War II, there was no military or tactical value in destroying the city. It was simply destroyed in order to destroy morale. Left of right. In this city, in this land, white people hung other white people on a good day, just 1 or 2 on a good day, at the gate of that city, so beautiful, so handsomely rebuilt, after the fires furiously warring in the old wooden heart of the city. My city, our city, naturally, just built for bombing, broken around the edges still burning in 1945. Only 2 pilots survived. They were hung from the gate, at the gate where our city begins, white people hanging other white people on a good day, the city so old, the heart of the city blazing after bombing, handsome city, so old. 2 pilots fell. Did their bodies tremble in tandem with the dream of final flight? What is the song of the sound of the rope? This final poem is my response to Eliot's 4 quartets. It's in 5 points. Excuse me, it's in 5 parts. Ritual capture of sugar. 1. The quick bug. Let's call it the morning of the albino cockroach. Slender, pale revelation, feasting fast near the base of trash cans in a nectarific spill of sticky soda. You and I, sugar, we will go far too, teaching through chaos and sweetness, and so seeming egregiously poetic. 2. Her hand. Monroy is a very common Mexican surname and a very old Spanish one. So Lana Del Rey ignites singing in my heart. Then let's revel in that tattoo revealed at the edge of her hand. Paradise. Paradise is in our hands, lingering or not in everything we do and savor. We are that paradise, or we are not. 3. Our sand, our fog. Uncle Ralph and Aunt Irene's backyard paradise, created in the desert fog and chill of the Sunset District, a Persian perfect rectangle of green, deepest green, grass flourishing, each blade tenderly barbed to heavenly perfection. And thriving, surrounded by the rapture of white blossoms, daisies, dahlias, calla lilies, but no lotus, rising, born from shining mud. 4. To the tune of my own unknowing. Remember Om is the sound of the song of the lotus. There are so many ways that I can't help you. Remember Om is the sound of the song of the lotus. 5. I promised it a sky burial. Wanting to continue working, I contrived to master the overripe mango with knife and fork. Yet eventually it must happen. Nectarific combat, hand to fruit. Palmetto bug smashed and partially dismembered by Senorita Cat goes into compost alongside ritual scraps of mango song, song of the compost, joining all to our shining life of mud. Thank you so much.
And now there's a couple of poems in our lineup who uh, are or say they are reading for the first time before a public. And the next poet that we have falls into that category. She was going to be here personally, but because of some responsibilities at home was unable to attend, but she's here on Zoom. Dr. Kaser Mukhtar, she's a recently retired scientist from the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention. And after dedicating her career to cardiovascular epidemiology and enhancing global capacity for effective scientific writing and communication, she's now pursuing creative writing through short stories and poetry in both English and Urdu. This is the kind of people Trump doesn't want on the CDC, I suppose. So anyway, Dr. Kaser Mukhtar, you're very welcome. Please come to the screen and present your poems.
Thank you so much, Dr. Khwaja. It almost feels illegal for me to be here opening my mouth among this group. I feel no matter which language, words mirror our emotions, wishes, and fears, even when they're only in our imagination. So the title of my very short poem is The Weight of Unspoken Words. I was told that stories require pages filled with emotions, filled with dialogue, emotions, and actions, complete with a beginning, middle, and end. So why do a few unspoken words and their unclaimed spaces occupy an entire chapter in my book? How is it that the absence of words I have never heard from you has left me broken and grieving? Your silence is a heavy cloud, casting a shadow over my joy that arises when someone else speaks the same words I've longed to hear from you. I ache for closure, wishing you would take back the words you have never spoken to me and set me free. Thank you.
We
Thank you.
move on now to Mr. Gopal Lahiri, who's a bilingual Indian poet, critic, editor, and translator. And I just sort of find it extremely unsettling to even say the next line here. He has authored 32 books. All right, 32 books, including 8 solo jointly edited books. His poems are published across more than can hold your breath, 150 journals and translated into 18 languages. You'll have more of the biography through the link. This is enticement enough for you. If you click on the link, you can go through the biography and read more about him. Mr. Gopal Lahiri, you're most welcome. Please come here to the mic and present your poems.
Well, thank you, Professor Obakar. I'll be reading four short poems. The first poem titled Our Breath, that's on ecology and the reflections. Our breath. It's up there now, October moon, 2 days from full, hanging like Archean wallpaper. With two short cries, the night bird reaches the top of the tree, breathing in the toxic air. Up above the clouds are like frosts, hairy and low one in the skies. The gray smoke rubs its skin on the leafless branches. At a distance, the dark soot falls from the old factory wall, hiding the boxes of our breath, hiding the boxes of our breath. The next one is on a famous poet in India, Jayant Mahapatra. He used to write in English. The title of that poem was Dawn, and my poetry, this is Memory of Sky. I look up at my personal ceiling. It opens another darkness. The glass, the old faces, and the pink candles assemble in one mindscape. The struggle of light flickering, melting in earthly hue. Faith and fear knit into something. I know the paradox in Manu Parekh's Benares. Manu Parekh was a painter. Colors of river and sky's reflection stitch poems and answer the sleepless nights in silence. Deep inside, there is common motive. The temples and shrines give imagery and symbol, creating the riddle of faith, fearful, bleeding, crowded with hesitancies. I hope the whisper draws out its deeper flavor, the common humanity. Sometimes even a rupture in one dream, finding a quiet place at the corner. Someone sighs behind the curtain, footsteps erase, and I can't become your river. Some words loosen the haze, the shadow, or maybe not. There is a memory of sky in this dark chamber of the sun going down, how the earth smells, paint, brush, hands, and everything. The third poem, which I've written this during the COVID pandemic time when everything seems to be lost, title is New World in the Waiting. Each night is mundane and lonely. Night birds spread their wings. The moment I am looking for is buried beneath the black soil. Each wound I polish on the sacred stone shines in false light. There is nostalgia too. When the lizards cry, the moon goes behind swelling clouds. There is a thick silence you can lean against. The city is laconic, the way it was centuries ago. The broken walls scribble. Alleys are filled with future alphabets. A certain beauty is waiting on the street with something that cares, that cultivates. And the last poem, which I'll be reading, Crossing the Shoreline. Here, the crossing means crossing some barriers. Darkness lingers in sleep, dreamland disappears. Unmolested trees are still giving shade of love and light. Unknown alphabets draw humpback sand dunes aligned in endless rows on the shore of my sleep. The mineral landscape draws each undulation of my own breathing. Every location is in walking distance. Go and receive the self. Thank you.
There we are. So, though she's gone away from Agnes Scott, we still like to claim her as our own Danielle Holliday. I'm going to invite Danielle to come and read her poem. She was born and raised in Atlanta. She started writing poetry when she was in seventh grade, as the best way to express her feelings as it is. I let her present her poems so that they will speak for themselves. The rest of her biography can, of course, be reached through the link on chat.
Frozen in time. Static is the music my body leans to, dead staring as a passenger. Wheels keep turning, in circles they whir, while other cars drive to the beat of their own drums. Drivers racing, my heart palpitating. In circles we go, with no driver in tow. Life has its own path in mind. The windows fog, no rain in sight. The only drops that fall are the ones from my eyes. Around we go with no end in sight, till lightning strikes. Wheels squeal as the world spins. I jump, hop, hope, and leap till my fingers ring and whip at the squealing wheel. As tires glide, my shoulders slump, finally hearing the music from home. I'm drowning. I'm not 17 anymore. I'm not 16 anymore. I'm not 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in the womb anymore. So why do you think you can speak to me in any way you please? Well, not today. I'm tired of being so full of hate. Every time you speak, you make my bones ache. My heart breaks. My brain fogs, stumbling in and out of the words you spew, so unapologetically you, trying to fuse me to you as if you didn't push me under, force feeding the waves, filling me so much. I hate being me when I'm with you. I can't see who I am anymore, but I still hear the words fall off your lips joyfully as I choke. I can't breathe, as if you could hear me over the bubbles that escape me in shrills, until I stop struggling, waiting till my last breath. Then and only then will you drag me back up, wondering why the text bubbles stop flowing. All I want to do is scream. I want to be free. But alas, I stay mute, walking away, drying along the waves I ate, or rather drank, because silence is its own horrific breeze. And this is a newer one, niche. I had to resubmit all of my poems to Professor Kwaja because I just had a spur of inspiration of long. It just took me so long to like write something down recently. Niche. As a recent graduate, I carry this notion without it needing to be spoken. We all breathe poetry. As time has passed, my feet stumble farther away from Agnes. Where is that passion, explosive inspiration that keeps on leaping even after the beat depletes? Why hasn't a line sunk its teeth so deep in me that I even craved for more? Niche is the word that spills over and over again. I thought poetry made us blink. I thought poetry made us think. I thought poetry made us speak. Niche is the, oh, sorry. It never occurred to me that it was niche. It stuck its claws in me and has never unleashed. I never even thought of being unleashed, departing from something that I always breathe. Why would I? It's the only way I can authentically express me. Thank you.
Our next poet, again, a very dear friend, Rupert Fike. He's here. And he's quite an item, by the way, in the poetry circuit. His second poetry collection, Hello the House, published by Snake Nation Press, was named as one of the books all Georgians should read in 2018 by the Georgia Center of the Book. His latest collection, All Things in Common, published by Red Hawk Publications 2025, records the triumphs and struggles of the voluntary peasants who lived in the farm, this country's largest, most visible commune. And here it is. I'm going to invite Rupert to come.
Never amounted. Okay, this is my newest book, All Things in Common. It's a story of a huge spiritual community in the late 60s, went all the way through the 1970s. This is, okay, so this is what hippies look like now, right? At a certain time, there were just the whole generation of young Americans who wanted to change the world, wanted to make a difference, and we did make a difference. There's all the soy drinks we're drinking now, you know, a lot of them were begun on the farm. And but also I want to just give a shout out to the first couple of sessions that were just so great. You know, hearing voices from India and Pakistan, Poland, Italy, Morocco, just it was fabulous. And just such a great undertaking. So how did over 1,000 young people come together in the wilds of Tennessee and form this community that still is going on and has lasting repercussions, you know, in our society, in the world society. Now, how did they come together? And so the first poem in the book has to get that out of the way. It's called Convergence, 1968. It starts, let me see, it has two epigraphs in this book. The first is John Keats, who says, in 1816, he said, "Fanatics have their dreams, wherewith they weave a paradise for a sect." You know, that was so cool. He said that, you know, over 250 years before he knew what we were about to do. And then the second epigraph is from Jim Morrison. So I like linking up Keats and Jim Morrison. Convergence, 1968. The West is the best. The West is the best. Get here, we'll do the rest. Jim Morrison. Scattered across the country, waylaid by potent micrograms combining with paperback Buddhism, they'd stumble through a portal, the oneness thing, that most burdensome moral code which, once touched, becomes brain flypaper, unshakable, a state akin to going mad. All cultural signposts pointing them here, San Francisco, anointed city of redemption, where Snyder, Ginsberg, and the Beats had wrestled with Eastern ways and come out the other side as Dharma bums. But the city, as they all do, demanded rent. Union jobs found down at the docks, where some became skinny-armed longshoremen by day so they could sit with teachers at night. Gurus, dancing Sufis, hash-huffing fakers, a few of them charlatans, of course, but nobody cared. They were too busy striving not to strive, too busy thinking hard about how to not think. While exhausted from throwing coffee bean sacks all day down on the waterfront, or worse, stacking fresh animal hides in the bottom holes of rust bucket freighters just in from Juneau. And it was down at Pier 37 or over on the Oakland docks. That's where they often encountered their mirrored selves just in from Ann Arbor, Akron, the Lower East Side, fellow pilgrims who had heard that same call, rode the highway west, rode the snake west, baby, where they met their own kind deep below the waterline, standing in bilge sludge. Appropriate, they thought, that they could go no lower in the world, and there, pleased with this renunciation of all hankering, they peeled apart hides that so recently had covered animals running wild, much as they had so recently run free in leafy college towns or grit grimy hoods. And they came in waves, each newly arrived caste looking up to those who had gotten themselves here earlier, those who had venerated the diggers, the summer of love activists, some the very same dropouts that Joan Didion had interviewed and disdained. And they sat in stiff rows at halls, ashrams, storefront temples, each copying the other's posture, back arch, severe chin tuck, deep exhalations, all striving to practice, all striving to master right practice when beginner's mind was sufficient. Each Zendo's formalities suppressing all chit-chat, but in the foggy meadows of Golden Gate Park, or while working deep in the holes of freighters, observations were swapped on teachers, which path, which discipline had the juice, the stuff they had all come here to find. And oddly enough, it was an American, a college professor whose weekly classes combined the pith of lectures with a kind of stand-up spiritual shtick. They liked this guy, Stephen. He made them laugh. He had ventured even further into the chemical abyss that had turned them inside out. Yet he had found his way back to offer unlikely absolution, and this is what the absolution was, that all this dissolute ego pain was just a symptom of greater purpose looking for its way out. He said they were part of an ongoing human lineage, those who throughout time have wondered why, much as Whitman did when he held up that blade of grass and asked, whose? Stephen's class filling the family dog, Monday nights, the dilated pupils set still rolling in from Seattle and Santa Fe, enrolling in his sudden school, the community becoming too large for the city, plans hatched to buy land back east, make a go of it there. Mahayana, the big boat, all souls welcome, bus families forming, money pooled, ancient school buses remodeled into rolling nomadic tents. Okies in reverse, that's what they became. Pilgrims leaving the city where they had come together, their meetings held so close to the Pacific, its waves could be heard slapping Ocean Beach just across the great highway where the continent ran out, where there was no more west to get to. Jim Morrison's promise of redemption finally kept. Thank you.
Beat that. Franklin Abbott is the poet who will close the session. Another dear friend here. His latest collection is making a lot of waves here. My Ordinary Life. It was published by RFD Press. He's been going on a circuit introducing the book in various cities. He is a retired psychotherapist who lives with 2 cats just a mile and a half from Agnes Scott College in Atlanta's Decatur community. So I'm going to invite Franklin Abbott to come and present his poetry here to the audience.
Thank you, Wakas, and thank you, Agnes Scott, for sponsoring this. I think it's a really important event, bringing so many different voices together. This is my new book, My Ordinary Life, and I'm going to read you a couple of poems from it. The news is often unbearable. Mass shootings, senseless wars, wildfires and floods, the politics of brutality. I sit in a neighborhood Italian-style restaurant, lots of pasta on the menu, gelato next door, but no Italians. It is a breezy night after rain, and I sit at the end of the table, my 2 friends facing each other. They have known each other for decades. One is from India, the other from Pakistan. And we avoid politics as long as we can, And then I listen so I can understand how personal politics can be. My Indian friend explaining, my Pakistani friend inquiring, and I am ordering our dessert, pistachio gelato and lemon sorbet, two flavors that could not be more different, melting beside each other in the bowl, our 3-spoon scooping, stories not jibing, history in fragments, friendship walking on glass. Who broke the window? I don't know. And the three of us, all post-colonials, finish dessert and go to our cars that are parked in direct opposition. I back out with my Indian friend in tow. My Pakistani friend is free to drive forward. We follow her out into the same cool night, going home to separate places, each with a tiffin of pasta we can warm tomorrow, and remember how we sat together with our different stories and ate our dinner in peace. Thank you. The state of things. I read about the ice shelves of Antarctica collapsing and the water rising all around the world. Tornadoes erase civilization along a 200-mile track in Kentucky, and a new variant of the COVID virus shuts down the Netherlands. Senate recalcitrance keeps social progress at bay. Racism denies that it exists. LGBTQ refugees huddle in a camp in Kenya, hungry, brutalized, no doctors, no way out. Tyrants strut across the world stage as if it's 1932, and if that isn't enough, people are so ignorant and frightened they will believe anything is true. I don't know how to solve this riddle. It is bigger than my brain and deeper than my heart, but I know that where I am is where I start. Who needs a phone call? Who needs a visit? Who needs a pot of soup, a loaf of bread? Who needs a hug? Who needs an arm around their shoulder? Who needs a dollar or two? Who needs a welcome? Hey, come over to my house. Let me feed you supper. Let me listen to your story. Let me hire your son or daughter. I have so little and so much. Less money and more touch. Less to legislate and more to compensate. I am not a crane. I cannot bear the strain of tons. But maybe in a moment, when you need a little lift, my love will be enough. Thank you.